So as mentioned before on Dendermonde, we have 5 guys that are born in 2000 or after. So a very young team for Dendermonde, and then especially in the backline. And now we'll have a look to the team of Gooi. Number 1 we have Jacob Noordkop. Number 2 Daniel Workel. Number 3 is Zachary Housen. Number 4 Mike Hoopen. Number 5 is Jim Bulrek. I'm looking for the number 6. We'll go to the number 7 is Hubrecht Vliet. The number 8 is Arno Makken. Number 9 Mark Mistu. Number 10 Jurgen Jorna. Number 11 is Thomas Wittebol. Number 12 is Eugène Koning. Number 13 Diede Brekelmans. On the wing we have Melle de Jong. Now you see both teams coming on the pitch, as well as the referees. So in the Benecup, it's the Dutch referees who come to Belgium, and the Belgian referees are in the Netherlands. So Dendermonde playing in green, black and yellow, and Gooi in white and yellow with the blue shorts. As you can see, the sun is shining, and we should be in for a great game. There's a nice crowd here in Dendermonde. We're looking at around 100 to 150 people in the stands. We should create a nice ambience for this lovely afternoon. And it is the English-born number 15 of Dendermonde, Tom Pearce, who will take responsibility for the kickoff. And we're underway. With a long kick and a good catch, and now Gooi will start their attack. Using the forwards to create some more space for the kicker, for the clearance, which we'll see now. He doesn't find touch, and now Dendermonde can go for the counter-attack. With an up and under, that goes very high. They'll need to look right in the sun, and a good catch. But then unfortunately the offload in the wrong hands, but a very good catch in the air from the number 8 of Dendermonde. And that's a knock-on in the 22 of Gooi, which is a great opportunity for Dendermonde to attack early on in this game, with a great position in the middle of the field, which gives them both sides to attack. The backs of Dendermonde all positioning to the right of the scrum, and this scrum will be a good measure to see how the balance is between the two packs of both teams. The defense of Gooi also positioning in front of Dendermonde, which leaves the left side of the scrum completely open. Pick up of the number 8, classic 8-9 move. And Dendermonde again in the 22 of Gooi with a good tackle on the number 2. Bad pass, but well recuperated. And now there's some space. The second bad pass, so Dendermonde needs to bring in some speed in the game. And they stay on the short side. Little kick from the 10. And we go back for the penalty for the high tackle. I said the number 9 of Dendermonde is only 19 years old, so Stef Vermeer. And it felt like he's a bit nervous in those first 5 minutes of the game with some sloppy passes. But let's hope he'll find his confidence. And now the first opportunity for Dendermonde to get some points. So we'll see how confident they are. Will they go for the touchline or will they take the 3 points? And I see the kicking tee in the hands of Tom Pearce, so they will go for the 3 points. Some discussion on who will take the kick. But it seems like Tom will take this one. Captain of Dendermonde is the number 7, Larver 7 Landerheuving. Great respect from the crowd here in Dendermonde with an absolute silence. And the first 3 points for Dendermonde in this Benecup from the boot of the number 15, Tom Pearce. So good start coming from a long kickoff and then good pressure from Dendermonde in the 22. They had struggled with the passes from the number 9, but still got the 3 points, and I will see how Gooi will react on this one. A very high kick from Hilversum, and I think there was some sun in the eyes, and so we'll have a line out for Gooi. The referee urging Gooi to get along with it. And so now we had the kickoff at Dendermonde, now we have the kickoff for Gooi, and also a perfect attacking opportunity with a line out on the 22 meters. Quick line out and they go for the maul. They gain a meter or two, and now Dendermonde bringing the drive backwards, leaving the left side completely open, and there we have a little break. Ball's out of the ruck, but will go not for the penalty, will go for the scrum. The referee saw the come of Dendermonde, but some good quick defense of Dendermonde, slowing down the ball in the ruck. The threat not over yet for Dendermonde because we're still in their 22 with a scrum. And let's see if Gooi can bring a nice backline move into this game. The defense of Dendermonde quite short to the scrum. They're all between the 2 lines of the 15 meters, while Gooi is positioned quite wide. We'll need to reset that scrum. In the first scrum we saw Gooi going a bit forward, but Dendermonde still recuperating the ball, so we'll see how they manage this one. Little switch in the midfield with an advantage, I think, for slowing down the ruck. So Gooi have all the opportunities now. They can take some risk with a lot of people on the right side. They go on the short side with the small pass. So I suppose there was a knock-on, but we'll go back for the penalty. Right in front of the post, so I suppose that they'll probably go for the 3 points. So after 10 minutes, we've seen a very balanced game. Good kickoff from Dendermonde, which brought them into the 22 of Gooi, which gave them 3 points. And then after the kickoff of Gooi, we saw exactly the same point on the other side, with now probably a penalty kick in front of the post for Gooi. Oh, and a bold decision from Gooi. They will not take the 3 points, but they'll go for a scrum. They feel that they can dominate Dendermonde in the scrum. Obviously a good position 10 meters in front of the post, which will tear the defense of Dendermonde apart. And a very solid scrum from Gooi, which is moving forward now. And they go on the right side with a good tackle on the number 8 from the flanker, from the number 7, the captain of Dendermonde. Because that was a great position if they would have given that ball out to the right. Unfortunately, again, the penalty advantage for Gooi, for not staying on their feet from Dendermonde. And again, they'll not go for the points, they'll take the line out this time. So some good confidence from Gooi. They want to play, they want to attack. And they want to put some pressure, especially on Dendermonde, by camping into their 22. Good line out, and now Gooi is trying to get the maul moving towards the line of Dendermonde. Stable defense. Maul to the ground, and now Gooi needs to build this up again with the forwards, making some good meters. But a knock-on, and so now turnover. They have the knock-on advantage. And Dendermonde, they'll take their time to clear out this one. And so we'll go back to the scrum for Dendermonde. So after 5 minutes of good pressure of Gooi, no points, even though they had 2 penalties right in front of the post. And now Dendermonde get the chance to put the pressure on Gooi again. And the penalty for Dendermonde for turning the scrum against them, which will be an easy clear out. And they'll get the ball again. So for the people just tuning in, we're watching the 3rd game of the Benecup today, the 2nd edition of the Benecup, and obviously the first weekend. So we already had 2 games. We had Haagste against Soigny and Lille against Hilversum, with 2 victories for the Belgian teams, and with a bad clearance kick that you just saw, creating a lot of danger. Good catch from the number 12. And Gooi having the ball back to counter attack. It's a good tackle which led to a knock-on and a turnover for Dendermonde. So Dendermonde being very aggressive in the tackle. So we saw them under pressure for 5 minutes in their own 22. Unfortunately, the penalty kick didn't go out, but then good reaction from the defense, which will give them a scrum again. So the Benecup will be played over 3 weekends, where the top 4 teams of the Belgian competition will take on the top 4 teams of the Dutch competition. And then on the 28th of September, we will have the final of the Benecup in Brussels. Unless we have 2 Dutch teams in the finals, then we'll be in Amsterdam. So you might have seen some early knock-ons or some bad ball handling in the beginning of the game. Obviously now the sun is shining, but 10 minutes before the game was still raining, so the grass is quite wet, and so the ball as well. Gooi has been quite stable in the scrum, but this one is a good one from Dendermonde, and they'll go for a kick. And there is no one there, so if this ball goes out, it's a good one, but still a lot of pressure. And that's a big miss of a tackle, because it would have been a huge pressure. And that was a good move from the fullback, trying to keep it in field, but it was out. And the referee saw him come. So we'll go for the ladder. So good kick, good option to go for the corner. There was no one there. Unfortunately, the ball stayed in field. And then a missed tackle from Dendermonde, which gave Hilversum again the chance to release the pressure. Not sure that was super straight, but the ref let the game play on, and with a good tackle of Dendermonde, some good pressure, they will get the ball back. So no big conclusions yet after 20 minutes. Dendermonde leading with 3 points against 0 after an early penalty almost in front of the post. And since then it has been a very balanced game with no real opportunities from either side. This has been a good line out. And now Dendermonde will try to create something. With a nice break from the 12, with option on his left side with the ball, and there will be the first try, probably from the number 15 in the corner, Tom Pierce. A very nice break from a very young guy, Maarten Huau, who's only 18 years old. But that was probably a bit too easy. There was not even a big move, but a great line from the number 12, creating the space for the number 15. And a first try after 20 minutes. Tom Pierce has been successful with the first kick to the post. This one could be a bit more complicated. Very nice kick against the touchline. So Dendermonde leading with 10 against 0 after 20 minutes. And let's see now how Gooi will react. It's a generous score for Dendermonde, I would say, because they have not been dominating Gooi, but they have been very solid in defense, very aggressive. which might just give them the edge. With a bad catch, but the ball went backwards, says the referee. And so Dendermonde can start on their exit plays. So this ball stays in field, unfortunately a knock-on. Could have been a threat, but going for the touch might have been the better idea. What you can see in the open play of Gooi is that they are not committing a lot of players to the ruck, which means that the defense is very wide and they have a lot of players standing into the defense. However, I think that they should put some more pressure on the ruck, putting more pressure also on the clearance kick. And this is a better scrum of Dendermonde, even though they didn't get the ball. With a move straight from the training ground, but they didn't want a lot of meters with this. But there is an overlap on the right, which they don't use. And also Dendermonde not committing a lot of players to the ruck, which means that we can play quite fast. And Dendermonde not rolling away, so giving an easy and maybe not unnecessary penalty. And there the break from the number 7 was support on the right with a tackle, so the advantage will be over, but Dendermonde 10 meters from their line, and now the pressure is on, and that is almost a break. Scrambling defense from Dendermonde. The big number 1 going into the contact. Options on both sides. For the moment, Gooi is letting the forwards do the hard work. And a good tackle from the number 10 of Dendermonde. Necessary tackle. And now we'll go wide. On the number 6, good tackle. But danger not over yet. Tackle with the head between the legs. Oh, and that's a big gap, and that's the number 8 who will score the try, almost under the post. I think the number 15 could have gone lower on this tackle to bring him down, but the first try for Gooi as well. With an easy conversion almost in front of the post. So it will be 10 against 7. Dendermonde still in the lead, but as I said, very balanced game, so the score is really representing the game.
Go, Luca, keep working, Luca!
Still 15 minutes in this first half, so still a lot of opportunities for both teams to go into the dressing room with a nice advantage. Again, a long kick from the kickoff, but this time Gooi not taking the risk and directly going for the clearance kick. Still in the half of het Gooi, so Dendermonde has a nice attacking opportunity. The first try from Dendermonde came from a set-piece move. So let's see what they'll make of this one. 5-man line out. With a good take. And the advantage because clearly taken out in the air. Which is a nice gift for Dendermonde. And we'll go wide with the back play move. Well written by the number 12 of het Gooi. And Dendermonde for the moment not making a lot of ground with this move. We'll go back to the penalty for taking out the man in the air during the line out. I think defensively Dendermonde has been very strong, but in the open play it seems like the number 9 is still a bit nervous. As already said, it's a very young backline. There are 5 players that are 18 or 19-year-olds, so really young backline. But what a nice opportunity for them to play against het Gooi, the champions of the Netherlands, in this Benecup. And now again, a very nice attacking opportunity into 22, 10 meters from the backline from het Gooi. Again, a 5-man line out. The referee not happy with the gap, so we'll try this again. And a very high-risk move from Dendermonde, which didn't work out, so they didn't jump. Hooker wanted to throw straight in the hands of number 5, but they lost the ball. That's a very big opportunity gone. And again, the clearance kick, which doesn't go out. So the number 15 with a good catch, and now with the counter-attack. Stopped on the 22. And now the big boys of Dendermonde doing the hard work. With a nice step and inside support on the shoulder. Can he go all the way? Not yet. 5 meters from the try line. A lot of bodies on the right. Good rush defense from het Gooi. And again, penalty advantage for the high tackle. 5 meters from the line, so now Dendermonde really need to make something. They went for the pass short, but a knock-on from the number 15, so we'll go back to the penalty for the high tackle. Not the first penalty in this game for high tackles. But Dendermonde keeps the pressure with a line out on the 5 meters of het Gooi. So again, advantage for Dendermonde. Het Gooi bringing down the maul. With the 12 bursting in. And number 6 trying to break the line. And there was a gap. Should have given the pass, didn't do it. The number 2 going for an adventure on his own. Good rush defense from the defense, but that's what you get when a 10 tries to hit a first liner. Dendermonde working hard. Not a lot of result for the moment, but now there should be a gap. Going wide with 11 1-on-1, inside out. And we'll go for the line out. But we'll go back for the penalty advantage. Referee wants to talk to the captain of Gooi. And what will Dendermonde do? They'll go for the scrum. So 10 minutes before halftime, and Dendermonde still leading with 10 points against 7, with a nice attacking opportunities 5 meters from the line. A surprising choice because Dendermonde, they didn't lose their scrums yet, but they have not been dominating, and now it's Gooi pushing too soon. So we'll move a bit more infield because, as you see, because of the rain, the grass moves a lot. I will set again. The defense of Gooi also very narrow, just past the post. So that way we said Gooi has been very solid in the scrum, but the referee deciding that they turned before pushing. It's almost more than 10 minutes now that Dendermonde is in the half of Gooi, putting pressure. But for the moment they didn't get any points for their hard work. And now a big push from Gooi. The number 9 got the ball out quite quickly. Not clear to me why we're resetting for the scrum. So I think the ball came out of the channel and not through the back. Dendermonde doing a better job with the number 10 with an easy step and with the try for the number 10. It was the number 15, the dummy runner, drawing all the attention to him, which allowed the number 10 going with an easy step, beating his defender, and we have a second try for Dendermonde. So Dendermonde now leading with 15 against 7, but as we already saw with the first conversion of the number 15. He has a very good right boot, and so we can expect him to slot this one as well. So some well-deserved points for Dendermonde after 10 minutes of hard work into the half of Gooi. And now Tom Pierce, the 15, for the 2 extra points. And this one goes over as well. So Dendermonde leading with 17 against 7, 5 minutes before halftime. Not the most creative of moves what they did, but they had the 15 running on the inside of the number 10 at full pace, drawing the attention of the flankers and of the blindside winger, and the 10 creating some easy space for the number 10, and a very nice catch from the kickoff from the number 5 of Dendermonde. And a little show and go of the number 12. And you can see that Dendermonde is building confidence in their game. The lost ball well recuperated by the number 2. And they'll clear the pressure with a little up and under. And a lost ball for the number 9. Little kick. Should have maybe fallen on the ball to get possession, because there was a lot of support on the side of Dendermonde. And a good tackle for Dendermonde, now really putting on the pressure. There was a nice catch from the kickoff, and since then they've been putting a lot of pressure. And this one will go out almost on the 22. And again, a very nice attacking opportunity for Dendermonde, who might be taking the lead and the dominance into this game. Balanced game for the first 30 minutes with more possession and territory for Dendermonde. And now since the last try, we really can feel the difference. They're putting the back burners on. And they're looking for one more try just before halftime. But a good line out, but the number 9 lost the ball. So the number 9 of Dendermonde not having the best game so far yet. Solid string from Gooi, an area where they have been good, and a very wide pass from the number 10. And penalty for Gooi coming from the side from Dendermonde. With a good penalty kick, put him then on the 22 of Dendermonde. And so now Gooi will be looking for some extra points before they head into the locker rooms. Long line out, And they'll use the power of the forwards to bring them closer to the line. Mol is turning. Dendermonde needs to scramble. Some 10 meters, still 15 meters from the line. And now we'll go wide with the 15. Good rush defense from Dendermonde. And a good tackle. They needed to get this one because there was space out wide. And the turnover, well-worked turnover from the number 8. The Argentinian number 8 of Dendermonde, Felipe Garrity. And some good distance on this kick to put them over halfway. Jonas van den Bos of Dendermonde has been very solid in his line-out throws, with a lot of tape around his arms. And a good line-out for Dendermonde as well, with the forward bursting in. And now the number 3 needs to roll away just in time. And they'll go again for the kick in the corner, no one there. But this one might be just too long. And he goes out. And so we'll go for the 22. Or do we go for the scrum? They'll take the scrum. I think the kicker was a bit more in midfield. The idea was good, there was some space. Execution should have been probably a bit better. And the kick a bit higher for the runners to be able to put some more pressure on Gooi. But we can feel Dendermonde is in control. And it's Gooi really need to do now something before half time. And it goes be with this run because that was a very nice move. And then the winger with the leftover, the number 15, getting the ball away. And now again Gooi is on 5 meters off the try line of Dendermonde. Dendermonde have showed that they can be very solid in defense in this area. But this was a very nice move of Gooi, with some very quick hands and some good support lines. And now they're going deep with the rush defense. That was necessary, but they get the ball away. And this is a line. Number 13 against the first liner. And a well-worked try just before half-time. And the coach will be very pleased with this one because now the game is still anyone's. So Dendermonde has been in control for the biggest part of the game. But that's when you see that Gooi is the champion of the Netherlands. They can create some magic at any moment. It was a scrum on their side of the field. A very nice break of the number 13 with a lot of support runners. And then they were able to finish it off in the 22 of Dendermonde with a winger against the first liner out wide. And let's see if Gooi has also a good kicker. Just out wide, just pushed it a bit too much. And so a try that was just on half-time. Dendermonde leading with 17 against 12. Missed conversion from the number 9 of Gooi. And so the coach of Dendermonde will not be happy with this try just before halftime, because they were going to the locker rooms with a comfortable lead of 17 against 7, but then right on the full, Gooi was able to get a try. So that's halftime. 17 for Dendermonde against 12 for Gooi. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the second half of this game. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the second half of the third match of the Benecup, Dendermonde against Gooi. Dendermonde is leading 17-12 with a last minute try in the first half of Gooi, bringing Gooi closer again, because up to then Dendermonde was starting to dominate Gooi, and then out of nothing Gooi hit back and so brought the score a bit closer again. And so basically after 40 minutes, this is everyone's game to win with a good kickoff. And we're on the way again. So the Benecup is an initiative of Rugby Belgium and of the Rugby Board of the Netherlands, basically to develop the top teams of both competitions and to give the opportunity of talented players to develop themselves. So this is a great opportunity. And so we saw a bad clearance kick from Dendermonde, and so Gooi now has the attacking opportunity again, going to the short side, making some bit hits with the forwards. And so if we make a recap, after 40 minutes, we know that Gooi has been dominating the scrums. However, Dendermonde did not lose a scrum yet. I think in defense, Dendermonde is a bit more aggressive, a bit more hungry. But then during the whole game, you have the impression that Gooi could strike at any moment, which we saw right before halftime. Now we see that the number 1 is staying down. And Dendermonde has been being very solid in defense, what you can see now as well, because they stand their grounds quite well. And that was a good line from the number 8 with support of the number 9 throwing it, and that was a big hit from the number 8. And so the number 9 is down, so someone needs to fill in. And they're trying to go wide with the inside runner, with the offload. And that's going to be a try, I think, into the corner. It is. So a very strong start from Gooi. There was some good aggressive defense from Dendermonde, but in the end, Gooi found the gap on the side of the pitch. The number 9 is still down, getting up now. Seems like he will be able to play on. So a very balanced game, because now after 44 minutes, it's 17-all. With a kick to go, the number 9 missed the last conversion. And he will now get the chance exactly on the spot where the number 15 of Dendermonde, Tom Pierce, had a conversion. He was successful. And the kick is good, so Mark Mistu, the number 9 of Gooi, adds the 2 points. And so for the first time in this game, Gooi takes the lead. So there you can see why they are champion of the Netherlands. Just at the end of the first half, they added 5 extra points with a well-worked break and a try. And so they came firing out of the dressing room with a try and 7 points, bringing them into the lead. And so now Dendermonde needs to build again. Because as you can imagine now, Gooi took quite some confidence. And that was a very bad pass on the head of the number 21. Yeah, so Dendermonde recuperating the ball. And the number 3 attacking the line, looking for an offload, didn't find it. Going in on the inside with the 15 to the 10. The defense of Gooi still holding. But Dendermonde very hungry to get back the lead. And there a small gap from the number 9 that was well spotted. Now you can see that Gooi is also becoming very aggressive in defense. They start to feel that it's an option to win this game. And so the game is accelerating a bit. Advantage for Dendermonde, so they should play this one out. And a second advantage. And there was a high tackle on someone of Dendermonde, who's staying down. The number 12. And the referee will have a little chat. And he will get a yellow card for this. The number 2 apologizing. Was not intentional.
Keep working, Felipe. Keep working, bud.
But as you know, the referee is trying to protect the well-being of the players, and so this one was a shot to the head. And so the number 15 gets to get a shot to add 3 points and to take the lead again in front of the post.
Next job, Felipe. Next job.
And Gooi will need to play with 14 players for the next 10 minutes. The penalty is good. And so Dendermonde back into the lead, and what we felt in the last 5 minutes is that the game is starting to accelerate, the gaps are starting to open up, and both teams are ready to play for this game, and it's still anyone's game. So the score 20 for Dendermonde, 19 for Gooi. On the scoreboard you can currently see 20-20, which is not correct. It's Dendermonde leading with 20 against 19, and now it's corrected. Lineouts have been a bit sloppy on the side of Gooi. They still get the ball back. And now they will start to build something from the midfield. And as Gooi was starting to get some speed into their backline, there was a forward pass, and so Dendermonde will get the scrum again. And so if Dendermonde is in the lead, I think it's mainly due to their very aggressive defense, because Gooi has been quite strong. And so a little update from the other game currently going on, Diok against Ottigny. Diok is leading with 24 points against 0 with 13 more minutes to play. So as you know, the two first games were won by the Belgian teams. I think Diok is almost pretty sure to have won their going. And here it's 20 for Dendermonde, 19 for Gooi. So it's still anyone's game. With a very good scrum from Gooi, but the number 9 able to get the ball out. And the number 10 wanted to go for the little chip because the defense of Gooi was really rushing in. And now they're doing everything to get the ball back. So they were lucky, and they'll get the penalty. And the clearance kick penalty from the number 15. So a little red alert for Dendermonde right there when they tried to chip over the line that was chasing. But they had some luck with the bounce. They were able to recuperate the ball. And they got the penalty. And the first substitution on the side of Dendermonde, so the number 4 will go off for the number 18. Harris Orich Dubois. Unfortunately, that line out was not straight. And so Gooi will get the put in for the scrum. An excellent game, an excellent showcase for the rugby in Belgium and in the Netherlands, as the Dutch champion is taking on Dendermonde, who has been champion multiple times in the last year. Last year they were half finalists of the Belgian Championship, so two quality teams. With the little hand of the number 9, very smart, just when the referee turned his back. And that was very silly of the number 15. He had all the time in the world to take the ball. He pushed it forward. And now suddenly Hilversum will get a very easy opportunity instead of Dendermonde counter-attacking. He has been very solid throughout the game with some very nice kicks. And the first try, the number 15, but this might be a costly error. And again, a very solid scrum from Gooi, all running very narrow with some hard runs, but if you run narrow like this, it's very easy to defend because the defense can squeeze. And there was a sloppy pass. So the referee is saying that they need to release, but the guy from Gooi is also moving on his knees. This is a very heavily contested ruck. But Gooi still gets the ball. And now the heavyweights are doing their job again. And now there's space out wide. They're 3 against 3. And so as they don't find an option, they'll get the kickoff. And now it's one-on-one. With a good up and under from the number 14 Lars de Leeuw. And that was a good catch from the number 4, who made some speed and then gave the little up and under. Wasn't fortunate with the bounce, but still gained some 40 meters for his team. And now Dendermonde can start build some pressure into the half of Gooi. It has been a fair game up to now. It's some nice tries on both sides. Very strong defense, which obviously makes it harder. And that was a good line out from Gooi. They will go for the clearance kick on the far side. Almost behind the back of the number 11. But a good catch. And he'll go 1 against 3. And they ripped this ball. So probably not the best option, but there again. So it's turnover on turnover. But then Dendermonde also has the advantage. So they'll have their chances and they'll go. And again the 15 with a nice run into space with some support on the left. Unfortunately, he gave to the right. And so we'll go back for the penalty for the high tackle. Very unfortunate that Tom didn't find his support on the left side, because there were 2-3 runners from Dendermonde on his inside without defense in front of them. But Dendermonde still in control and still in the lead. But very narrow lead, 1 point difference. But he'll get a new attacking opportunity in the 22 of Gooi. "20 minutes into the second half, so 20 more minutes to go. And that was an excellent throw, very long throw, but very straight. And now Dendermonde trying to drive them all. And you could see that there was a lot of fighting into the mall to get the ball back. Dendermonde went a bit too high in the view of the referee. And so Gooi will get the chance to clear their lines. With a good kick just over midfield. And a good rush defense from Dendermonde, but the 7 with a nice cut line. And number 16, it's not the first time that he goes for the big hit. Very strong guy. And so, as you can imagine, after 60 minutes of plays, we have some tiring bodies on the field. And so gaps are starting to open up. And the number 16 going, playing as a number 1, unfortunately crossing, and I think that one was quite deliberate. So good call from the referee to give the penalty. Very unfortunate for the number 16 of Gooi, because I think he saw himself going over the try line. And so when a game is so tight at 2019, these are the little silly errors that can really decide on the outcome of the game. With a well-fine touch of Dendermonde. Because Gooi, they were starting to build up some pressure. They were ahead of the 10-meter line, so a simple penalty can take them again into the lead. But then they took our player without the ball while they had the ball. And so line out back to Dendermonde, and we're back in the half of Gooi. It's been the 3rd or 4th time that they went long, very successfully. And so as you can see, defense is very strong on both sides, because the tackles are coming in very hard. And so Dendermonde lost an easy ball. And now they're fighting for the ball, they have it back. Unfortunately, it will go back for the knock-on. So substitutions on the side of Dendermonde, the number 3 and the number 12 coming off, being replaced by the number 20, Toon Meert. And I'm not able to read the number on the back of the new winger of Dendermonde. But anyway, so the fullback comes into the first center with the number 11, Robbe Scherps, taking over responsibilities in the back. So there again from the scrum, a good movement from Gooi, but it went into touch. And Dendermonde trying to play quickly, but the ref says we go for the scrum. So the number 21 on the wing for Dendermonde now is Timothy Scrivens. And Tom Pierce, the fullback, goes into second center. And again, a very big push, but again, Dendermonde manages to get that ball. And then some hard work from the number 10 to gain some meters. He did well, and that's offside, clear offside for Gooi. And so they will need to play this ball. And now Lars the number 14. And that's again a high tackle. So they'll get the new penalty advantage. But we'll go back to the first one.
Good work, Lars. Good work, Lars.
So this is a super tight game at 20-19. Some players checking the wind. And that's a very solid kick. Putting his team again into the half of Gooi. As we are entering the last 15 minutes of this game, and still everything to play for. 5-man line out. They have been going long for the last 3 to 4 times. They're going to the middle. That was very quick with the forwards doing the hard work. Period number 15 has been very solid. The number 10 cutting inside as he saw the rush defense of Gooi was coming up. And we'll go again on the short side. With strong defense from Gooi. Putting Dendermonde again on the back foot. Good dummy from the first liner there. Good pass out wide with the missed pass, and there's the 2-on-1. Just was able to hold on the winger. And now Dendermonde is again trying to take a bit more dominance in the game with the 10 taking his time to find the gap. Able to control the ball. And that's again the number 6 Leroy of Dendermonde, who has done a lot of hard work in this game, in defense and attack. He cut back and then the pass. Bit too long, but he was able. The referee judging that the winger last was being held.
Good work, bud. Let's keep working, Johnny. Keep working, Felipe. Next job, bud.
And the short penalty for Gooi. On halfway. Substitutions in the front line for Gooi, the number 1 and the number 3 being replaced. So some fresh legs to drive that scrum forward in the last 15 to 20 minutes, and also the yellow card coming back on. And that's an excellent pass on number 15. And he will be racing to the line. get the try. Again from set piece. But that was an excellent pass out wide to the 15, right into the space. He put the back burners on, didn't look back, went over the line. And that's another 5 points for Gooi, which brings the score to 24 for Gooi, 20 for Dendermonde. So with a bit less than 10 minutes to play, Gooi takes for the second time the lead in this game. And again, basically out of nothing, because Dendermonde was attacking, they had the ball, then they had the stupid penalty against them. And from that line out, they were able to score. Conversion attempt was not successful, and so the gap between both teams is only 4 points. And now we'll see how this young team of Dendermonde is able to react and to play under pressure.
Let's go, Luca. Let's go, Ferdo. Let's go, boys. Hey, Gooi, houdt that go, ook, hè.
Again, a long kick, putting Gooi into their own 22. And then a sudden turnover from the number 16, making some nice yards, bringing Dendermonde into the 5 meters with the twin number 12. Trying to go himself, he's lost his ball, but he went backwards. They were able to recycle, but this is an excellent opportunity for Dendermonde. I didn't see how the number 6 got his hands on the ball, but he did. I think he thought it was over. It was 2-3 meters short, and now they need to build up. They need to be patient and make sure they keep the ball. They'll get the advantage anyway. But the gap is 4 points, so they'll need this try. And so they'll go quickly. The referee not happy where the tap has been taken, so they'll need to go back. And they'll go quickly again. They were a bit dreaming for the number 18, and he will get over the line, he'll get to try. He's really excited with that try. And he's sharing his excitement with the crowd because that was excellent play. It was Tom Pearce who was being very attentive, looking to Gooi, who was a bit dreaming on the line because they thought they were going to go for the line out. Went for the quick ball, and then some hard work from the number 18, carrying the ball over the line. And so now a very important key because Dendermonde now only leads with 1 point. So this conversion will make the gap to 3, and then even with a penalty, it'll only be a draw. And you can feel the tension with the crowd. Just too short. Just too short. So it's the number 7 for Dendermonde who will go off. That can be a very costly mistake, because Dendermonde is now leading with 25 against 24, but now they'll have a scrum into their own 22, and as you know, throughout the whole game, Gooi has been very strong in the scrum. But what an excellent game we have had this afternoon, with nice opportunities from both sides. And now the Dendermonde pack is doing everything they can. I think it's a bit unfortunate that they don't get the ball back, but it was an excellent push. They have been under pressure throughout the whole game in the scrum, but they feel this game is theirs to take. And they're doing the hard work to make sure that Gooi is not getting a clean ball out of the scrum, because Gooi has been lethal in set phases. They made it right from a scrum and from a line out. And so again, you can see that the defense of Dendermonde is super narrow. And again, a big push from Dendermonde, and that should be a penalty, and it is a penalty for Dendermonde, which is well deserved. You can see a lot of bodies on the floor, but a well-deserved penalty for Dendermonde. An excellent work, because they have been under pressure in the scrum for 75 minutes, and suddenly they found the strength, they found the energy to push the forwards of Gooi. And this just might have been the decisive action of the game. And again, a long line out throw, but this one was not straight. And so Gooi will get the ball back. It really has been a game about details. It's about conversion kicks. It's about quick penalties. It's about straight line out throws, because 1 point of difference between these teams. They have been absolutely great, both of them. And after 75 minutes of play, the game has still not been decided. And again, small detail with the number 14 being able to get back the ball. Again, silly mistake, little mistakes, handling mistakes. And that's a turnover, but that was obviously impossible. And so good catch from the referee on this one. And so Dendermonde will get the ball back. And Tom Pierce feels confidence that he can get this one as well. Excellent game with both teams. Really had their chance to take this one home, and it's still not over. Even if Tom is able to get this one over, the game is still not over, because Gooi has shown that they can create a try out of nothing. You can feel the tension in the crowd. Big silence for this kick. kick is good, and you can hear the cheer in the crowd, because this takes Dendermonde ahead of a penalty kick. It's 28 against 24, so a penalty will not do for Gooi. They will need to score a try if they want to take this game. But the game not over yet. Again, a long kick. This time they take it well. They go to Tom Pierce for the clearance kick. Doesn't find touch, which then again puts some pressure to number 15, who has been very aggressive in this game. But that was a good tackle, giving the defense the time to set up. And now it's the defense of Dendermonde that needs to hold to take this game home. That was a good catch of the number 16. He has been very strong in this game. And they'll go for the pick and go. Dendermonde defending with their lives. Trying to hold on to this game. And that was a little small pass from the number 15 right into the gap. And that was a bad pass on number 22, getting the ball back. But the referee saw a penalty mistake. The new captain, Tom Pierce, asking for some explanations. And Gooi will need to go for the corner. And so it's a tense game until the last minutes. And this is a big opportunity, because 5 points would be enough to take this game home. And so we'll have a big mold, Dendermonde driving forward, but Gooi being patient. And Gooi sending a lot of bodies in there. There's no backline left. They still have the ball. Very difficult to see. This one will be very difficult to see for the referee. But it's held up. And so we'll go for the scrum. And so this one is going to be a very interesting one, because in the first 75 minutes, Gooi has absolutely been dominating the scrums. But then suddenly the last two scrums, Dendermonde went forward. And so you can feel in the crowd that this will be the decisive action of this game. That's a good push from Dendermonde, but Gooi still gets the ball back and they get the penalty. That's a massive performance from the forwards of Dendermonde. Massive push and they'll get the penalty. And it's the last action of the game, and so Dendermonde will win this game 28 against 24. An amazing game from both teams. It could have been anyone's game. It was really into the details. We saw a solid performance from everyone. But it's Dendermonde with a last minute big scrum. A last minute penalty. It gives them the game. And they should be very proud, because it was a very young team that played this game today. And they won. So even though the game's over, stay 2 more minutes with us, because we'll have live interviews with captains of both teams. And they'll give their opinion on how this game went. And so this means that the first weekend of the Benecup is over. And this also means that we have 3 Belgian victories and 1 Dutch victory. So the Belgian teams have started this Benecup better than last year, because last year they have been dominated by the Dutch teams. And so we look forward to the next weekend. And so while we wait for the captains to join us for the live interview, I'll just give you quickly the games of next week. So next week we have Haagse playing against Diok, we have Soigny playing against Ottigny, we have Hilversum playing against Gooi, and we have the champions of last year, Lui, playing against Dendermonde. So the Belgian teams will play in Belgium and the Dutch teams will play in the Netherlands. What an immense game while we wait for the captain of Gooi to join us, the captain who is Robin Kok. He will be with us in a second. Well, I can see some nice traditions, rugby traditions being respected. The new players taking off their clothes. And all of this is on camera. And so we are joined here by Robin, who is the captain of Gooi. Robin, what a game! It really has been a game about the details.
Yeah, it's been tough, hard fought. Conceding the score could have gone both ways, and yeah, only thing we can do now is look at the video, see what we need to improve, and on to the next game.
Because Gooi really has been dominating in the set play, and then you had some tries from the set play. A try just before the end of the first half, and a try in the beginning of the second half, and then we thought the game was going to go your way.
Yeah, that's what we thought as well. As soon as you get ahead on crucial points like that, you need to push through and take the game and control it. And yeah, we gave it away. Small errors, and yeah, you're back on the sticks and you got to work again. Yeah, nothing else we can do about it now. It's done. On to the next one.
And so this is the second edition of the Benecup. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I love the fact that you can play a different level, different culture in rugby. Obviously, the Belgians love their physicality. And I think it's good for the countries, for Belgium and the Netherlands, to give their higher placed teams some more competition, something else. You can see it in the Netherlands. It's been the same few clubs for the last 10 years that compete for the top spots, and this gives everyone a bit of extra motivation, some new opponents, and it's always good. It's good for the competition in both countries, if you ask me.
So what's the difference between Belgian rugby and Dutch rugby?
I think the Belgians love their forwards game. It's more of a one-up runners, and then as soon as the space is there, they fling it into the backs. Where we try to expand the game with all the players, with all 15s, so a bit more expensive. But yeah, I think today Dendermonde showed us they can do it both as well. But yeah, we got done on a few points, too bad.
So last year the Benecup was dominated by the Dutch teams. Today on the first weekend there were 3 Belgian teams that won and only one Dutch team. Do you think it will be different this year, or do we can expect that the Dutch teams will fight back until the end?
I don't know. It's you know, obviously you have the home advantage in your first game, which is important to get such a big crowd behind you. That gives every team a bit extra. It's about how the teams gather themselves after this and how they use the video and how they analyze their own game and how they improve. I don't know. It can go either way. Yeah, it depends on the day, I guess.
Bit more on that for this season.
Because we're playing Benecup, we're in the top 4 already. From that, obviously, you want to play for that final spot again. We lost last year, so there's only one ambition basically, and that's make the final again and win it.
Thanks a lot and good luck for this season. Bye. So that was the captain of Gooi. While we wait for the captain of Dendermonde to join us, obviously because of their victory, they're celebrating, which takes them a bit more time to find us. But as you heard it, the captain a bit disappointed because at some point they felt that the game was going to go their way, which we thought as well. Because obviously after a try at the end of the first half and then the try at the beginning of the second half, they felt that it was possible. And then obviously at the end, Dendermonde came through very strongly, taking the game away from them. And as we said, it has been a game all about the details. So we're still waiting on the captain of Dendermonde to join us for his view on this first victory in the Benecup. So the captain of Dendermonde is on his way. He will be here in 30 seconds to give us his view on this first game. And so what a first weekend for the Belgian teams in the Benecup, which really gives hopes that this time maybe we might have a Belgian winner or at least a final with a Belgian team and a Dutch team. So the captain of Dendermonde, Lander, is trying to find his way between the crowd. Obviously everyone wants to congratulate him on a victory with a very young team, but he finds his way. Is bij ons de kapitein van Dendermonde. Een eerste overwinning in de home game van de Benecup. Wat is het gevoel dat je heeft?
Fantastisch natuurlijk, hè. Ook omdat het ons eerste thuismatch is. Ja, gewoon zalig.
Wat opviel is dat vooral een heel jong team was, vooral in de backs. Veel jongens, 18, 19, 20 jaar en toch succesvol. Wat was het plan met het team met deze jonge gasten?
Ja, het waren vooral veel jongens die bij ons van de jeugd overkwamen. Ook veel nieuwe spelers die nog niet gewend zijn om in deze team te spelen. Veel mannen die op de eerste keer met elkaar moesten spelen. Ja, ik vond het gewoon fantastisch. Ik weet niet wat ik moet zeggen, sorry.
Waar is het verschil? Want Dendermonde gaf het gevoel dat jullie in controle waren, maar dan aan het eind van de eerste helft snel een draai tegen en dan in het begin van de tweede helft ook een draai tegen en dan ineens staan jullie achter. Hoe zijn jullie daarmee omgegaan als team?
Ik denk vooral onze mindset. Op het einde vooral, we stonden achter. We hebben allemaal gezegd van kom aan boys, kop op, verder spelen en gewoon gaan.
Wat is jullie ambitie in deze Benecup? Want vanaf nu kan alles.
Benecup winnen natuurlijk.
En als we dan overgaan naar de Belgische competitie, vorig jaar geen kampioen, La Lup kampioen. Jullie spelen tegen La Lup volgende week in de Benecup. Wat zijn de verwachtingen daar?
Het zal waarschijnlijk vooral niet gemakkelijk zijn. Maar ik pijs als we met dezelfde mentaliteit spelen als we vandaag spelen. Deze week goede trainingen, volgens mij tot einde zullen komen.
Voel je een verschil tussen de rugby in Nederland en België?
Niet zozeer eigenlijk. Nee, niet zozeer. Nee.
Kijk, dan gaan we het hierbij laten. Proficiat met de overwinning en veel succes volgende week. Dankjewel. So we'll clear us here today. So that was everything for this weekend. A nice victory for Dendermonde. As said, next week we'll have some more games again. So on the 14th of September, the Belgian teams will play against each other and the Dutch teams will play against each other in the second weekend of the Benecup. Thank you for being with us today, and we hope to see you next week again. Bye.